Hello class, and welcome to the series where we build actually yet another clone, and this time it's gonna be a Reddit. Apparently I love cloning things so much, I might actually just clone myself one day, who knows. Probably not a good idea though. Anyway, let me actually demo this app quickly before we start with anything. Actually, where do I start? This app has so much that I'm actually scared I'm gonna forget something. Okay, I'm gonna start with infinite scrolling. So pay attention to this scroll bar here. As I scroll down, dun, 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 boom, it gets smaller. And that's because it's using infinite scrolling. And each time I scroll, it fetches more posts from the database. Okay, this time it just fetched one. Okay, it does infinite scrolling, but I don't actually have infinite posts. So you just have to trust me on that. So yeah, you get to see all the posts because this is the homepage, so we see a mix of all the different subreddits inside of this page. And what can we do? Of course, there's authentication. We can go ahead and sign up. And there's like validation. So if I keep everything empty, okay, this is client-side validation. And if I send this, we get server-side validation for the form. So let's say I want to create a user. Okay, I already have John, so I'm gonna create John 2, an internet user. So john2@email.com, and his username is John2, and the password will be 1 through 6. I hit enter. Now I have to log in. So here we'll say John2, and the password is 1 through 6. Boom, and now we're logged in. And now we see our profile up here in the navbar. We also see a create community button here, which will allow us to do that. So let's actually do that. We go here. If we submit this, we're gonna get validation. These fields are required. And as well, if I try to create an existing one, React.js, it will say that this sub already exists. So let's actually, let's create the Vue.js one. So Vue.js, and the title will be Vue.js like that. And let's say here, Vue.js developer community. Not very creative, but whatever. We hit enter. Actually, I hit enter. This is a text area, so I have to click this. All right, there we go. So we get a Vue.js community, and it's kind of blank right now. So let's fix that. We can create on this create post input, which brings us to the create post page. Now, this is not the your normal UX type of interaction. Usually you click a button, but I went for the exact replica of Reddit. In Reddit, it's kind of like this, so I went with it. So you get also this like about community on the side. Ignore these two numbers. They're not real. They're just placeholders. I might actually implement them by the end of the course. Who knows? This is real though. This was created indeed today. So here, if I go ahead and create a title for this post, what do I say? Oh yeah, okay. This is creative. I love Vue's new composition API. All right, the text is optional, so I'm just gonna post it, and voila, we get our new post. I love Vue's new composition API, which makes me realize actually saying I love Vue sounds like saying I love you. That's interesting. I think Vue should like do something with that. Okay, the Vue team, if you were watching this, you can take it. I haven't patented it. Take it, use it for some marketing or anything. Bless you. All right, so if we click on the I love Vue new composition, we get the post itself. I can comment on it and say nice post to myself and click comment, and we get the comment instantly added. We can of course upvote or downvote posts. Same thing goes for comments. You see the points here. We can also, what can we do? So yeah, we can add like a profile image for the Reddit. So here I'll add this Vue image. We can also add like a banner image. So I'll add this coding one. And of course, these are uploaded to the server. So if I reload, they're still there. We can actually go to a specific user. So let's say here, posted by John, we can go to John and we can see like his profile. Right now, we just have some basic details and we have like what John has commented on and what he has posted, just like on the actual Reddit itself. And one last thing I almost forgot, we can actually search for subreddits. So we go up here and I type React or just Ria, we get like these. And if I say React, it actually keeps like sending requests to the database and searches. So if I search for funny, I get funny there. And if I click on it, it goes to the funny one. This is actually kind of creepy, but whatever. And you get all the posts just for this subreddit. So yeah, obviously Reddit itself has way more, but you know, that's way beyond the scope of a YouTube course. So before we proceed with the tech that we're going to be using in this tutorial, please make sure to like this post, jokes, like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Cheers. Alright, so in terms of tech used, it's going to be, to some of you, some of this is not a surprise. To the others, I'm just going to go through them. So we're going to be using Node.js as our runtime. We're going to be using JavaScript on the server side. So we'll use that. Not much to say about this. It's a great runtime for IO intensive apps. Makes it super fast to deal with data, to create APIs that are super responsive. And also, like, it leverages our JavaScript skills. We don't have to learn a new language just to do backend. And along with that, we're going to be using Express as our web framework. Express is like a tiny micro framework that allows us to organize our routes for our APIs and also for our regular pages, and handle all routes and add middleware to them to do whatever we want to operate on the server side. In terms of ORM, we're going to be using TypeORM. It's a really cool ORM that works with SQL-based databases, because we're going to be using Postgres for this series. I really like TypeORM. It makes it really easy to work with TypeScript. You don't have to configure anything. And that was a bit of a spoiler for later, but yeah. I've already done a video on TypeORM if you want to check it out. I'll put a link of this in the description. In terms of frontend, we're going to be using React. Of course, React is a very popular frontend framework or library, and it has an amazing wide suite of different libraries that you can use to solve any problem on the front end that you need to solve. Along with that, we're going to be using Nextjs, which is server-side rendered React. Well, you can do statically generated, but for this app, we're going to use server-side rendering. It gives us a lot of advantages. Some of them would be to reduce the amount of code that you send to the user. You only serve one page, so you send them that one page and the dependencies of that one page, which makes it faster. You render the page straight away on your server and with the dependencies, which makes it even like more performant on mobile devices. You add metadata and meta tags, and also it makes it more SEO friendly because of this. Of course, if you're building a platform where you have posts and different entries by users, you want those entries to be indexed by search engines so that you're more visible by Google and such search engines. I mean, it's just Google. Who are we kidding? So next thing, like I said, we're going to be using TypeScript, actually both on the front end and the back end. I'm planning to redo my TypeScript tutorial. It's kind of outdated a bit. But I might do that by the end of this course. If I do, I will post a link to that in the description of a video that I will do. So we're going to be using TypeScript. It's going to give us a bunch of advantages. Some of them would be like type safety, which will kind of give us this red squiggly lines before we reach runtime, which like makes our development a bit more productive. And also it gives us autocomplete when we're using our custom types or like types defined by third-party libraries. And of course, it makes our code more robust and more like safe against like runtime errors and like behavior bugs and stuff like that. In terms of styling, we're going to be using TailwindCSS, which, by the way, they used to have a really nice landing page, and now they somehow made it even better. Like, I love this. This is like gorgeous. Like to the people at TailwindCSS, like really well done. So TailwindCSS is a utility-driven CSS library, which gives us only the tools to build our UI and doesn't give us like any opinionated kind of like structure of like elements. We create the elements from scratch ourselves. I also have like a tutorial on Tailwind CSS on this channel. I'll link that in the video description. So yeah, this is the tech stack for this series. I hope you're excited, because I really am. This is gonna be a banger. So yeah, again, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.